Yeah. When I fucking streamed to Vim and there was server issues and YouTube was fine. It's you and fucking Bonad giving me shit, fucking giving shit to a neurotic motherfucker that's always constantly fucking depressed about everything, making me want to fucking punch a goddamn wall and fucking kill myself. Oh, welp. What do you mean there's a death side? Motherfucking cunts. I fucking hate, dude, when people are fucking telling me shit that I literally know what I'm looking at, and they fucking patronize me and make me feel like a fucking retard, dude. Like I'm not a fucking retard. I just say it for funny fucking purposes. All right? No, it's not. No, it's not. It's funny. It's funny to you, but it's not funny to me. That's just fucking hypocritical. So this is what the fuck? Is my fucking thing still going through or what? Okay, I'm just gonna fucking do this shit then. It should work now. On both sides.
Trey, give a little bit of talking.
Testing 1 2, testing 1 2.
Yep, it does work.
Yep, it's working. You got it.
Hey, there we go.
You're the man.
Go pig.
Shut up, fucking cunts.
Hey, I love you too, pig.
Well, fuck you because I don't love anybody. I hate everyone equally.
Come into my bosoms.
I think it should be the opposite. I think it should be the opposite way. You know, pig clearly has the larger bosom.
He's got the droopy bosoms. Those are no fun to come into. You want to be in a plump cloud of safetyness when you rest your head.
True, this is true.
All right, well, fuck me sideways with a chainsaw on fire wrapped in barbed wire. Well, welcome to the Maze of Thoughts. There was some technical issues. It was obviously Ron's fault, because I know I do not make mistakes. So, yeah, what's up?
So you were telling me about your week, pig. No, like let's hear it. You know, go ahead and give your vent about your technical issues that you had.
Yeah, well, so my week has been pretty much just some technical bullshit, and yeah, that's pretty much it. But due to that, I've been just on the down low. When the fuck am I not on the down low? Fucking hate my life. When it fucking ended. But either way, yeah. I just didn't have the mindset to fucking pursue any news articles or anything. I saw the video by fucking Moist Critical, and he was talking about the whole Elon Musk thing, and I was like, okay, well, whatever.
Yeah, do you want to talk about that, or do you want to go to something different? Because I mean, we can discuss the Elon thing.
I just
'Cause
want, I kind of
mean,
wanted to talk a little bit about like fucking the Overwatch news and shit of the new character, because I did develop some new opinions after what I did say on stream. Because I was watching a streamer go through the videos and stuff of the developer update, and like before people come in here, we can get the gaming out of the way, because everyone here is a fucking boomer and they don't give a shit about video games. But basically I was just thinking how like disappointing the character design is, and like the gun in general, because I looked deeper into it, and the gun looks like it has a very similar design to Winston's gun, with the two like fucking like what should I call it?
Tubing on the side, like kind of
yeah,
like how it's like a tubing on the side.
Yeah. And so obviously it has a similar design, and the outfit in general, it's a little weird. It's very lackluster. Then there's like the Canada fucking symbol, the little leaf thing, the red leaf. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, the maple leaf.
Yeah, and there's no other character in the fucking whole game with the country symbol, which to me just felt really, really like, why though? Like I'm cool with the you know, the black female representation and all that stuff. I'm really cool with that. I literally does not bother me one single bit. What bothers me, it's like the design itself, like the design of the outfit, the design of like the gun. I said this on stream earlier because I noticed it, like one of her abilities is literally just the graviton search from Zarya recolored. Like the Zarya's graviton is a little like dark blue ball that sits in the center, and then there's like these like effects going around and shit. And Sojourn's is the same exact design, but it's just green or bluish or whatever. And I was like, what is happening, dude? Like, they've been working on this shit for so long, and it's just reusing things. And I'm like, I literally said, like, I really hope that the newer characters are going to be some unique designs, because we're talking about fucking like Blizzard here with polish and all that shit. And all of a sudden it's like this game, which used to have such a vast, unique universe, all of a sudden is just repetition, reusing things, recoloring skins, the same events every single like time. And it makes me like the gameplay reveal and shit made me wonder, like, Jeff Kaplan really like the true soul of that game? Because we got to remember, like, Jeff Kaplan was one of the main guys behind World of Warcraft in the beginning. Like, he was one of the main heads that made World of Warcraft such a good fucking video game. And he just, when he left Blizzard and left Overwatch, that kind of, I feel like they left a really big fucking hole. You know, because like, if you think about it, it started going down a hill ever since he ditched.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the future holds. Like, I was hopeful, but then, I mean, I don't know, like, maybe it's just because they're kind of like trying to rush it, try to push something new. They don't want to just be like maps or whatever, because a lot of people are waiting for new heroes and shit. But I mean, they've had like fucking, what, 5 years to work on Overwatch 2?
I mean, like, they ideally, like a lot of game studios, like, they'll start on the next one right after they finish the first one, you know. And I mean, I don't know if they did, but if they did,
no,
like,
because
every other,
they didn't, because I remember when someone made a video saying that they were looking for people to program engines. And this was a lot like around 1 year and a half, no, 2 or 3 years after Overwatch 1. was released. So it was around like 2017, 2018 that they started looking for people to like build the engine and work on a new engine and stuff. So yeah, it's been like around 5 years or something.
I mean, I think part of it is, I think it's going to be a huge problem for Blizzard the way that they're going, because all the lawsuits and everything are huge distractions for them, because they're having to make sure, like, hey, our employees were getting harassed, now we got to deal with that, now we got to deal with we got to commit to new initiatives, they got to make sure that they're
I don't
like
I don't know if
like
that if the lawsuits is still like relevant to the development of stuff in a way.
Well, it is whenever they start making hiring decisions based off of so they hired a new diversity inclusion officer, which if I can find the tweet here, I'll
Because
post it.
like
But
the reason I'm saying is
they're
the reason I'm saying this is not because like sure it was really fucked up and stuff, but the Overwatch team was never under the same scrutiny as the World of Warcraft team and like Hearthstone and that shit. I do solemnly believe that Jeff Kaplan was a good dude, and he left because like Kotick was such a fucking piece of shit, just like constantly pushing like bullshit things in regards to the like the what's it called, fucking the monetization of games and shit. Because Kaplan was one of the guys that fought for like the game not being monetized up to its asshole, because like the other day I read a comment about Dead by Daylight where someone said that even EA could learn some fucking tricks about monetization with Dead by Daylight, and it's right, it's true. The fucking shit is monetized up to its fucking core. It's DLCs, it's the game is paid, there's characters you can buy individually, there's season passes or whatever the fuck, there's literally everything. So it's like there's skins, every single possible monetization they could put in the game, that game has. So, and I believe that because of, or thanks to Jeff Kaplan, he fought so that Overwatch wasn't like such a money grabbing game. And obviously Kotick always has been like fucking trying to fight him in a way or whatever. But
well, I don't think it was just that he didn't want the monetization. I think it was like Kaplan's from that old school game developers, like that weren't like just driven by like the corporate boardroom. Like they just made good games, like they just made good games, and they had fun doing it, and they just happened to make a lot of money doing it. But like nowadays, it's like they have to put the pressure on, because like if this game doesn't sell, then our studio's dead. Like even if your studio is complete, like your development studio is rich, like it's like if this game doesn't sell, we're ruined. Kind of like Dice, like with Battlefield 2042, like a lot of times, like they people are saying like, oh, Dice is dead now, like they're completely ruined. No, they can still make games. It's just,
I mean, people are fucking
EA,
stupid though.
It's just that, like, if EA would let them do their thing and they would make good games, it would because Battlefield used to be a game franchise that people really liked, but in the same way that like World of Warcraft used to be really loved and stuff like this, but it always gets in the way whenever they want to, like, the executives want to push how the game plays.
Yeah, I mean, I just think that like the reason I'm saying this about Kaplan and shit is because some of the female developers for Overwatch came out on Twitter and stuff, and they said like, Kaplan was one of the few good dudes in the company that didn't go with all that stupid shit. of like being a rock star when they're absolute fucking nerds. It's like, I get it,
I
dude. You
don't think
want
it
to be a
was.
rock star, but it's cool to be a rock star, but you'll never be cool because you're still a nerd. I'm sorry, you kind of a nerd as well. It's like, you know, but it's, you know, yeah, man. A lot of people want to be rock
But
stars, but you know, it's not for
like
everybody.
like the thing that I think about it with I don't think it was as like as crazy as some of like there some of the stuff is is true, and I think that there are some things that were exaggerated with all the lawsuits and stuff like that, that essentially it comes down to a lot of people. Some people were really, they really enjoyed their work and they stayed at the workplace a lot, so like if they're there for like 12 hours and then they go go to the fridge and get them a beer or something like that, it does it there's I don't see any reason why people got uppity about that, like why they're so mad, like, oh,
No,
everybody's
it's
just
no.
drinking
They
at the
were no, no, no,
workplace.
no. They weren't just getting a beer, dude. They were just getting plain, and they were harassing in the fucking offices. That's what was happening.
I don't think it was all that though. Like it wasn't. I can't say for certain. I don't know exactly, but
Yeah,
I
I
would
also can't really
guess.
say that it was the way I'm saying because I wasn't there. But I mean, I don't see like why it would become a lawsuit. I don't see like why anyone would make it such like make such a fuss about it if it was just like grabbing a beer, dude. You know what I mean? Like,
Well,
although
there's a lot to be
I've
gained now.
never had
Like
fucking
victim
like beers
culture.
while I'm working because it wasn't allowed.
Mhm.
But then electricity is a
Yeah,
little bit
it's
different.
yeah, but
I
I
was
think
not pressing keys on the keyboard and fucking moving the mouse. Like the things I was doing could actually kill somebody and myself. So
yeah. You don't need to be drunk trying to wire somebody's house. That would be bad.
some people died like that. Got fucking
Yeah.
drunk and messed it up. What a way to go.
Yeah, especially when they like fall off like those big like the big bucket trucks. I've heard of people falling off the bucket trucks.
Yep. But anywho,
But
yeah, I just wanted
as
to say
Ron says,
like,
yeah, like I would want to be a chief diversity officer too, but I kind of don't fit the criteria. But because they make, you realize they make like 300K a year just to basically send emails saying, "Hey guys, don't harass people. Hey guys, let's it's this month or it's that month, like this group month, this like it's Pride Month and stuff like this." That's what the diversity officer. That's all they do. They click few buttons, send a few emails, and make sure that they've got their due for the day, and they make 300K a year. It's wild.
I mean, a vast majority of jobs these days, it's just that.
Yeah, but I mean, some of it requires some thinking, some number crunching, stuff like that. But like, chief diversity officer is literally just like, "Hey guys, I'm gonna organize an event for this group or for that group. We're gonna celebrate Ramadan or something like that." Like,
Well, I don't really want to like patronize anybody because I don't know what the job is about. I don't know what it requires. I have no fucking idea. So I don't want to really be like diminishing towards it. It could actually require you to be clever and think of ways to bring in people because at the end of the day, that's what they're supposed to fucking do. But back to the main thing I was talking about, I do think like
mhm.
there's some fucking weird things going on. I hope it's just a one situation thing and the rest of the characters are pretty unique and have that Overwatch feel to it and that Blizzard feel to it, and it's not just like reskins and or things that are very similar to each other and stuff like that. So yeah, that's basically just all I wanted to say. Just wanted to get that on my
Well,
chest.
there was something in this article. I can't remember if it's exactly here, but they wanted diversity officer actually to be involved in some of the writing and the character creation. So I think that probably Sojourn is part of that, which is why you see it as like a reskin, because they're probably going to just say, "Hey, we need to have more heroes that are, either black or Asian or
No,
something
no,
like
no.
this," and they
Sojourn has been a character in the game for like years now. The very first archives they released had Sojourn in the cinematic as like one of the
okay.
characters that are like appearing sort of they don't belong in, they're not in the game yet, but they're there. They're
Like a sneak preview. They already had a sneak preview basically for that character.
Yeah, I mean like they basically have Athena, which is like the AI of the universe that is responsible for like Winston's stuff and whatnot. And Echo was basically supposed to be Athena, but they called it Echo or whatever. It's like a thing, I don't know. Like Athena put a part of their consciousness or whatever the fuck into Echo, and it became Echo. Some shit like that. But again, we'll see. We'll see. Anyways, moving on. What else?
Yeah, well, just to end on that, like the I think too it could be, they're having this whole discussion about merging with Xbox now, and so essentially like they've got to go through this whole process, and I think it's probably delayed some of the stuff that they were gonna do. Because they have to deal with the business side of merging with Xbox, and they even had to make sure that it was going to pass like antitrust, stuff like that. Because this is you're talking about a $80 billion deal for a huge
No,
studio
70.
that has, well, it's like 76 or something like that.
No, it
Like
was
70,
no, it was 67.
was it 67? I don't know, maybe I saw different numbers, but yeah, like a $70 billion deal to
That was
make.
like months ago though. Like that was like it
But
was
they
confirmed, and there was live streams and shit with like Phil Spencer and Bobby Kotick and stuff. It was literally confirmed.
Yeah, but they have to go through the business dealings of like, what is that process
But
like?
it's gonna take about a
America,
year. It's gonna take about a year.
yeah,
It'll be like
yeah,
around 2023 when the merge happens.
yeah, but they have to do all this, the lead up to that. I think that may be delaying some of their game development stuff. Hopefully
I don't
not,
see
but
why it would.
well, I mean, if you look at things like Call of Duty Vanguard that came out this
Don't care.
past year.
Dog shit
Well, I'm just saying,
franchise.
like it. Well, that's not what I'm talking about. But like it was rushed out because they basically had to get it out for the yearly release, and everybody talked about how trash it was. Um,
I think it's just trash because it's Call of Duty. I don't think it's because it was rushed out.
okay,
I mean,
disagree, but okay.
there hasn't been a good Call of Duty since like fucking Call of Duty 4, so or Modern Warfare 2.
Mm. Disagree, but okay. Yeah. Anyways, so I guess we can go on to there's a few other things that if you just wanna, let's see. So had some interesting stuff here. I don't know if you want to like get on the topic of the Elon thing or not, or if we don't have to, we can talk about something else.
I mean, we can talk
There's
about
some.
it. I don't know what can I contribute to that topic though. I mean, if you have anything to contribute, sure.
Well, I mean, basically, it's just. I think it's just Elon trying to flaunt his marketing talent, and I think that a lot of people took it too serious. I think even Twitter took it too serious because apparently they decided to essentially destroy their company just to make sure that Elon wouldn't buy it. Like they're literally trying to destroy their company just to make sure Elon doesn't buy it. When a lot of
doesn't BlackRock own some part of Twitter, some shit?
yeah, they own like 10%.
Okay.
No, they own 7%, and Vanguard, which is another big bank, basically banking company or
Yeah.
investment company, they own like 10% now. They bought more than Elon at this point, but Elon made the offer to try to buy it.
Okay, so like if he gets the whole thing, all those motherfuckers get the fuck out, right?
Yeah, they get hosed. I mean, they get money. They get money because they get whatever they would.
Well,
They would
yeah,
get
their
paid.
shares will be sold to
Mhm.
Elon because he's going to be buying it. But yeah, well, I mean, Twitter's just a fucking cesspool of shit. It doesn't matter who the fuck buys that, dude. It's just going to be fucking dog shit, anyways. Like, I think if he tries to make that shit like a little more usable for journalists and stuff like that they're kind of like afraid of putting themselves out there when they're like talking about sensitive topics and whatnot, I think that's good. I think that's good because like a lot of fucking journalists have to find all kinds of fucking like deep depths of the internet to be able to like provide the information they gather and stuff, and I believe that can be like menacing or whatever. So if he can help with that stuff, I think it's good.
Like, are you saying like help the journalist or like try to
Yeah, provide
like
them with
help
a platform
independent journal?
that's already established and not just like something starting up that no one has heard about. Because some journalists, I'm not talking about journalists like fucking QAnon bullshit and those idiots. I'm talking about proper journalists like Assange and people like that.
Mhm.
They're continuously pushed away from all kinds of stuff because they are talking about government bullshit and stuff, and the government doesn't want it to be heard, and so they just like push it away. Kind of
Yeah, I
like how
mean,
when we talked about like the whole Ghislaine Maxwell trial, like no one was talking about it. For example, there was a Twitter profile, actually there's a Twitter account that was specifically following through and basically
and they got banned. They got banned.
yeah, they got blocked, or yeah, they got banned. So obviously it was supposed to be hidden and whatnot. So yeah, what's up, Uncle? How you doing? QAnon was a proper journalist. I'm not saying QAnon was a journalist, motherfucker. I'm saying the journalists that are part of QAnon. But yeah, dude, I legitimately think like if the platform just becomes a little less censorship strong or whatever the fuck, I think that it's good. But like,
Yeah.
To me, all the Silicon Valley motherfuckers are Silicon Valley motherfuckers, and I don't give a shit about any of them.
For real. Well, here's another interesting thing that we can talk about. DuckDuckGo CEO. Okay, so I don't know if you noticed, but DuckDuckGo, as soon as the whole Russia-Ukraine thing, they started talking about how they wanted to censor more because they basically thought that like some people were spreading fake news about Russia-Ukraine. And then now they're saying that they're going to begin purging all independent and media outlets from the platform and will replace them with trusted mainstream news outlets instead. Here's a
What does that mean?
it's going to be like kind of like the Google thing where they basically say this is a trusted source, like a trusted news source. Like, they're not gonna like if someone has a video on like, hey, this is what's happening in Russia, Ukraine, they're gonna
Okay.
push it down instead of
Yeah, I also
you know,
think that a lot of people are taking advantage. I talked about this. I think it was on Amazing Thoughts as well, I believe. And I talked about it where there were motherfuckers creating live streams on TikTok and other live stream platforms, basically passing by as Ukrainians in need of help. And these are dumbasses
Yeah.
like in America, UK, Brazil, whatever the fuck, in places that are not under war. And they're just like getting donations and stuff because people feel guilt tripped into donating because they find these people and it's like just screams and bombing sounds and all that stupid shit. And yeah, I think in a way that's also kind of to basically lower the number of shit like that. But I mean, yeah, I don't know. I think it's in a way it's decent because, like, dude, people nowadays have the tendency to like not know shit about a topic and they talk about it like they're fucking experts. Like, if you don't know something about a topic, don't talk about it. Like, just be quiet. Because it's better to be ignorant and not arrogant than to be arrogant and still ignorant. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that there is some stuff that you can comment on with what you like you think. You can say like, this is my perspective on something though, and you don't have to be like an expert on everything. Like you can talk about something without being an expert on it. It's just you just don't know the fine details. It'd be like someone talking about crypto that just has no idea what even a blockchain is, basically, or something like that. But if you have a basic understanding of something, like for instance, I like to talk about the idea of like money and economics, but I didn't study economics. I just read up stuff about economics, so I give my perception and what my opinions are on some of the stuff that I think. But
Well, if you have a following, a big following, and you're talking about shit that you have no idea about the topic, if you have no idea of giving actual like valuable arguments, valuable insights about the topic, it's bad influence on people. Because if you're an influencer, if you're influencing people, they're gonna take your word and believe your word. So like if you're just having a casual conversation about crypto or something, that's fine, dude. Who cares? But if you're just like giving advice and shit and you're saying, yeah, this is not financial advice, guys, but like you should buy this, and this, and people follow you and people like trust you and shit, that's just scummy behavior, dude. You know what I mean?
But
It's like
but
when I'm
also, like, what if you believe in that though? Like, what if you're saying like, hey guys, this is what I'm doing? You're just telling everybody like, hey, like the for instance with the whole like GameStop stock thing, there was some guy that posted videos, and he put a lot of money into it. And he said, this is what I'm doing. This is not financial advice, but this is my personal position of what I'm buying into.
the fucking GameStop thing only worked because of Reddit, dude. And it was Reddit like from fucking like actual subreddits about that kind of shit, like stocks and whatnot. So what I'm saying is, if I don't know shit about a subject, even if I have basic understanding from living life and stuff like that, I'm not gonna talk about it like I fucking know everything about it. Like, it's not good. And it's okay to be humble because no one in this world knows everything. You know what I mean? It's impossible for someone in this world to know everything because everything is too much.
Yeah, but generally speaking, like if you are knowledgeable enough to talk about something, I mean, generally speaking, I mean, there
But yeah, if you
Twitter
have the
proves me
knowledge to
wrong.
talk about it, sure. That's what I'm saying though. Like if you have the knowledge, you're not ignorant about it. If you're ignorant about it, you shouldn't be like talking about it as if you are not ignorant. Because that's arrogance.
So what about for instance this guy that I was talking about with the GameStop stock thing? He gave a reason why that he thought the GameStop stock was worth buying, worth him buying. Of course he did, like you said, like this is not financial advice, but he had his reasons for saying why. Hey, this is why I'm buying it. Do you think that that is like irresponsible at that point, or do you think that
Yeah,
like because
sure.
he's
Because
knowledgeable?
it worked so awesome, but what if it didn't work? It's a 50-50 chance, dude. Like
But
if it didn't
he's given
work,
reasons. Like he's giving reasons why he
well,
thinks that it.
yeah, but it's not certified. It's like it's not a guarantee. If it was a guarantee, then yeah, sure, but like it's not a guarantee. I mean, it's investment, dude. Every investment is a risk. I don't think there's a single investment in the world that you're not taking a risk for it. You know what I mean? Like it's always
But
a
shouldn't
risk.
people shouldn't we assume that everybody else is smart enough to know that if they're gonna watch that video, like they're gonna like the if you're smart enough to like go watch a video about the GameStop stock, that you're gonna be knowledgeable enough to know how to invest your money, like, or you just say like,
Come
or are you
on, dude.
just
Have you
thinking
not
that like,
seen what's been happening with all the motherfuckers getting scammed out of their fucking shit from fucking NFTs and whatever the fuck? You really think? Come on, dude. Don't be naive, dude. Like people will
I mean,
fucking watch
like,
shit and just like, like it's just the problem is motherfuckers prey too much upon the desperate and the needy. This is how it goes. But what I'm saying is has nothing to do with money, has nothing to do with investments. What I'm saying is if you have no idea, if you've lived your whole life surrounded by like American stuff, if you've lived your whole life not necessarily knowing anything about the world outside of your country, how the fuck are you going to comment on things about like the rest of the world? I'm saying like you can talk about it. Yeah, sure. Of course, that's totally fine, dude. And like I think that's good to talk about it because it's kind of erasing ignorance and it's giving you some knowledge about it. But what I'm saying is you shouldn't be talking about it as if you're like someone who's been traveling across the world, someone who's been like talking to like people from other parts of the world to actually know stuff from them about where they come from. That's all I'm saying. Like, it's good to talk about things, but people should also keep in mind that there needs to be an understanding where it's one thing talking about it and another thing like look what Instagram fucking influencers do all the time. Like they just promote stupid shit that no one gives a fuck about. And it's really fucking shitty. Oh guys, buy these clothes. They're really cool. Yeah, they got paid like $10,000 to fucking promote that shit. And 1 week of wearing the fucking pants, it's all ripped and completely like fucking the stitching goes away and all that stuff. You know? They got paid $10,000 to talk about it and say that it's good. It's what exactly happens with like gaming fucking journalists and stuff. They get paid to say that games are amazing. Yeah, this game is the best game I've ever played. They said the exact same thing last week. Oh yeah, this game is the best game I've ever played. Every video game they play is the best video game they've ever played. Which kind of like makes you so is there even a video game that it's the best game you've ever played? You know?
But well, I mean, but now you're talking about real, quote unquote, real journalists because they work for an actual corporation.
That's just an
That
example.
is,
That's just to give an example.
well, but it draws from what I'm saying though. If I can't trust something simple like a gaming journalist, who's to say that I trust like an actual person telling me like what's going on with Russia and Ukraine,
You
or something
shouldn't.
like that?
I don't trust anyone.
Exactly. But I mean, that's what I'm saying. Is ideally people have enough of a skepticism, healthy skepticism, so that
I
they.
don't think so. I don't think so.
Well,
It
I
takes
mean, I don't think that everybody does. I think that most people don't, because I think that most people are gullible and they'll buy up
exactly. If
whatever.
you don't go through shit, you're not gonna have that level of skepticism that you develop from being fucked in the ass. You know?
Yeah.
So like some people, like for example, if like a vast majority of your life up to a certain point, the things you've been trying, they've been working. When there's a thing that it's clear it's not going to work, you feel like, it's going to work because everything else before worked. So why wouldn't this work? And, they get fucked up. I don't know, man. Like, I think I've seen too much. I've been through too much to basically like trust anyone. I mean, one of the motherfuckers that the world trusted the most during the whole COVID bullshit, like that Fauci motherfucker, literally lied about statistics and shit. I mean, so.
Well, but he's someone who you would in this case you're saying like he's supposed to be an expert, right? He's supposed to be an expert on like the diseases and stuff like that,
Yeah,
right? But
a
if he's
doctor.
supposed to
You're
be,
saying.
yeah, if yeah, I mean, if he's a doctor and he's an expert on the biology of this disease, and then he lies to you, I mean, who's to say we can trust any of those kind of people uh, to be able to give us new truthful news about anything? What wouldn't it be better if we had someone who looked at the data and said, "Hey, this disease isn't as bad as what Fauci is saying," and told us the truth, as opposed to just believing only Fauci and say, "Oh well, he's an expert." Like I think that's where I differ on that with what you're saying, because if other people are reading the data and they're knowledgeable about what the data says versus what Fauci is saying, then those are two different sort of areas of expertise. And Fauci is just going to say, "Hey, it's a disease. We need to. It's going to kill us all. We need to stop." And then you have somebody else looking at the data saying, "Hey, guys, like this isn't as bad as what he's saying." But they're not necessarily an expert by the by the fact that they're working for like the government or something like that.
Well, if they're not an expert, why the fuck would they even like go through the data and shit? Like what data? Public data?
Yeah, there's public data on
Well,
how many coronavirus cases and stuff
well,
like that.
then if it's public data, that very well could be fucking manipulated as well, dude. If it's available to public, how can you trust? Like, I just can't fucking fathom like
But
if
the public data comes from government sources. Is the
exactly,
like
exactly. So if a motherfucker who's not an expert goes look at the public data, that is the same data that Fauci has because it comes from the same sources, then why do you think the motherfucker that's looking at the data has any more validity than Fauci?
because I can verify their source. So if they get
But
it
it's
from the
bullshit
CDC,
anyways.
well, there's a lot of lies by omission, but there's not necessarily any like they're gonna sweep things under the rug. They're gonna give you the truth, but it's not gonna be the whole truth. You know what I mean? That's how
Yeah,
these things work. So if
that's
I
what I've
look at the
been saying all
data,
along, dude.
well, but what I'm saying is like you can tell a story with the data one way, and then if someone actually looks at it and says, "Guys, you know what? If I look at this, actually, if you're 25 or if you're under 28 years old, basically this disease does nothing to you, essentially, like for the most part, except rare cases, unless you have some kind of disease or something else
Well,
going
but
on."
that was for everybody.
Then
It wasn't just for under 28. That was literally for everybody.
Well, but I mean, like, that was kind of the first thing, though. Like, there was a lot of data that they had to go through to figure out, like, okay, well, now basically it's only kills like the worst, the people in the worst
Like
shape.
motherfuckers would fall off a parachute. They would fall off of a plane with no parachute on, and they would die of COVID
Get counted
somehow.
Yeah.
They never interacted with anyone with COVID, but somehow they fucking died of COVID because they didn't use a parachute. Like, that's crazy shit, in my opinion. But what I want to say is, first of all, no, I don't trust anyone. Literally no one. Second of all, I'm an atheist, which reinforces the fact that I do not trust anyone. And for me to trust anything, I need to look at it with my own eyes. So yes, I will watch content on the internet. Yes, I will read something or whatever, which I honestly don't even give a fuck about the news anymore. But I never did give a fuck about the news. And the only news I give a fuck about is to bring topics over to here. But my point is that if I can put my eyes on it and see it with my own eyes, I don't trust it. Like, I don't fully trust it. I'm going to be like, I don't know, dude. Is it? I don't know. I'm always going to have basically a foot, or what is this? A step backward? Whatever the fuck. Some shit like that.
Yeah. But I'm just I'm just saying that it doesn't matter whether it's from a trusted source or if it's the independent source. Like, if it's someone just in their basement trying to figure out the truth, and even they can't be trusted. But if I can look at what they're saying and I can understand that it's true.
Why a basement dweller, dude?
I mean, it's always the basement dwellers, right? Like, they're the ones that figure this stuff out, dude.
Fuck no,
Pay
man.
attention.
The people who figure this shit out, they have to get out and actually fucking talk to people, man. Like, like how a lot of the information from COVID started to getting out to the public and to the world was through people that were actually on scene, seeing things happen. Like, a lot of Chinese reporters and indie reporters even that were sort of just going around and shit. And they were reporting through the internet, through YouTube and stuff. And that's how a lot of it came out and started to be known, the things they were doing. And there was even a case where a Chinese reporter, he went home because he was being chased. He went home and they started knocking on his door and he actually got fucking arrested and shit. You know what I mean? Well, I get what you're saying to an extent. Like, you want to trust humanity. You have kids. You don't want to fucking, think that the world is a complete mess and completely fucked up and it's got no fucking salvation. And I mean, sure. If I drink enough alcohol, I'll think that as well. But sadly, reality is reality. What's up, Gabriel? How you doing, man?
Well,
reality
here's
is
the thing.
reality. Go on.
But I mean, like, you can look at it without such a harsh lens, I guess. I mean, like, you can still be critical without being like, basically thinking that, like, uh the the worst of, basically my way of looking at it is Fauci and the basement dweller or whatever who figures this data stuff out and pays attention to how the coronavirus stuff is going on or whatever. Both of them are on equal footing to begin with, and I basically just give them enough rope and then see how far I can let them go. Like, how far is Fauci going to go before he lies to you? And basically, that would be as soon as he starts talking, he's lying. So I couldn't trust him at all. And then I look at what these other guys are saying, and I'm like, hey, this is completely true. Like, they're all the data that they're providing, all the things that they're saying, it is true. Like, there's nobody around me that's sick with it necessarily. except for maybe a couple of cases here and there, and there's a little spell of it, and it's just kind of not even a factor in most people's lives or whatever. So it's observing those kind of things, I think.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, dude. There's nothing wrong with trusting people. I've just my asshole is just too big to trust anybody. Let's put it like that. So
Well, if we're talking about that, then you'll love hearing about this. So this is an interesting story that I found. So in Miami, they're trying to become the Bitcoin capital of the world, basically.
dude,
Miami really.
hold on, before you go on, this bull just reminded me of fact that like, where's this bull initially? Is it New York or some shit?
No, it's
Like
Miami.
the actual, the actual.
Oh, the first one. Yeah, it's in New York.
Okay,
Yeah.
so the fucking bull's balls are polished like shit, dude. Motherfuckers go to the bull to rub the fucking bull's balls, and like the whole bull, it's like, normal, like the worn out from the weather and shit, whatever, and the balls are just completely fucking polished. It's crazy. So yeah, just wanted to say that.
Well, you'll be interested to find that they made one. They made this bull, the one we're seeing here, for Miami because they're becoming the Bitcoin capital of the world, basically. And they decided to have a Miami bull, and that one would be this one with the tech stuff and Bitcoin logos and stuff like that. But if you read what that description says, it says that they removed the bull's balls because they thought that it would have gendered stereotypes about finance. So basically, because
I think they would just harass the shit out of the fucking bull, to be honest, like it happens in New York.
I mean, true, but the explanation they're giving is stupid. It's so dumb. It's so
You know
dumb.
what, dude? You know what? I'm not even fucking surprised. I am not even fucking surprised. Like, we're living in a fucking time where everything needs to be fucking PC and has to be, oh my god, all the genders, like 7,300 genders and shit like that. Every single day there's a new gender. And it's like, the more you accept this shit, the worse it's gonna get. It's like, it's the same thing as you're letting a kid, unsupervised, undisciplined, and you see what the fuck happens. You just let it happen. That kid's gonna turn into a fucking menace. An absolute menace. I'm not saying the kid's gonna like be a fucking serial killer or anything, but the kid's gonna be an absolute madness or a menace because there's no discipline there. So what's happening here is that the more you accept this kind of behavior, the more you accept this kind of shit, and Biden, fuck that cunt. All right, Biden's a piece of shit. Yeah, I said it. Fuck Biden. Because like all of this shit going on, it's fucking insane, dude. It's insane. He's just literally just fucking putting the red carpet for all the fucking mental illness to be the new norm.
Yeah, I mean, and it's one of those things that makes me wonder, like, what you know, if we went too far removing like mental hospitals, not just because like they were bad, because they were like the way that they handled them were terrible. But I think that there is something that
Kind of
you need
worked.
to have. Yeah, I mean it
You know?
I mean there's some uses for these like mental hospitals to help people deal with their issues, but I mean there's obviously you need to be able to be careful with how you handle that because you don't need to throw people in there for nothing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a complex fucking situation. It is, but I think everyone has mental health issues at one point in time. obviously some people are worse than others, and it just depends on how your life has been led, I guess. But I think like how is like the mental health treatment in America?
We don't treat it like it's just, I mean, if they do, they give it medication. It's like, here's some
No, but
medication, here,
right, but is
go get these.
do you guys have like, are you allowed to freely go to a psychiatrist and say like, can you diagnose me with my shit, or do you have to pay like fucking insane amounts of dough?
We have to, most of it pays out of pocket, like, because if you are gonna
Okay.
get an eval, it's gonna be of your own volition, like the health insurance, our health insurance here, they basically say like, hey, this isn't necessary. I mean, even something like I was gonna get my back checked out, and if I go to get my back checked out, if I'm not like if my back isn't broken, like if they can't say, hey, his back is broken, he needs this surgery. Basically, if whoever's writing that out doesn't say like, hey, his back is broken, he needs the surgery or something like that, then they won't pay it. The insurance won't pay a dime.
The perks of being tall, back pain.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't relate. Get fucked, fucking tall motherfucker. No, I'm just kidding. But like,
The only disadvantage of being tall, though. Everything else is
I
easy.
mean, you're gonna fall a lot higher if you get fucking like, like a tumble or whatever the fuck. But no, what I want to say is like that doesn't really surprise me. That's like that like kids are quote unquote self-diagnosing themselves so much because they're not being allowed to go to a psychiatrist and actually get a proper diagnosis, and most of them being told like all you need is fucking parenting and discipline, get the fuck out of my office.
No, now they changed that. It's not just parenting and discipline anymore. Now what it is oh, your kid has ADD. Let's give him some Adderall. Like that's pretty much 90% of what the modern like health industry, or oh, they have anxiety, here's some anxiety pills. Like it's literally just throw pills at them, like whatever pills like that they can throw at them, they'll throw at them.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fucked up. That is fucked up. Because I remember watching a documentary about this shit too on YouTube. It's like an old documentary where these kids are just like fed so much fucking medicine. They're like completely numb and robots at some point. Essentially. So, I mean, that's what the government wants, though.
Well, I mean, I do think that's part of it, is that if you put a bunch of these kids on Adderall instead of fixing their actual issue, then it doesn't help them.
Isn't Adderall like fucking for boosting your energy or whatever, keeping you awake and like study more and shit like that?
It doesn't boost energy. What it does is it enhances focus, and
Yeah.
it kind of makes you more focused and directed on what you're doing. So a lot of people who are in like college, they'll take Adderall so that they can have more focus. Yeah, it is an amphetamine. Like it's basically like meth, but
I say it's good then.
I mean, if you want to destroy your body,
wait, isn't it in America that you guys are allowed like there's like meth fucking places to take meth and stuff in America or some shit? Instead of taking Adderall, just lead them straight to meth and put them in those fucking places. Solved, dude.
Oh my god. Oh.
There we go. I just solved world peace.
Oh my god. No, that was my neighbors when I was a kid. They had two working meth labs. So that's It's not meth labs, but but Biden did say he was going to give out free crack pipes, so that was, you know,
Oh, that
good
was
on
it.
him for supporting it. You know, he's going to give out free crack pipes to everybody.
That's good then.
Yeah,
Yeah,
supposedly
but
supposedly that's going to make people use less drugs somehow. I don't know.
I'm sure. I'm sure. I mean, it's gonna make using less drugs from the laboratories and from the pharmacies, but it's gonna use more drugs from the fucking streets. Um,
Well,
yeah, that's a
Normark,
fucked up thing.
you haven't applied for your crack pipe. You had to go apply for your government crack pipe, and it'll get shipped in the mail. Maybe it won't get classified, if you're in a state that doesn't allow it, or whatever.
Gonna have an insignia, fucking gold coating.
Gold-plated crack pipes for everybody.
Yep.
But yeah, no, seriously though, we do have a problem of like it's everything is a pill, or there's not many regular um solutions for the problems that face people in America. They don't try to like go, hey, you need some kind of mental therapy, or you need to do some, like, you need to exercise more, or you need to do this. They don't try to get to like the root of the problem. Like it's more about like, okay, well, you know it's kind of like the issue we have with weight over here. Like a lot of people are like fat, and what they'll do is they'll say, "Hey, you're fat, so let's just get you lap band surgery." Not like, "Hey, like, okay, let's fix your diet, let's get you exercising or anything like
Yeah.
that." It's just like immediately like, "Okay, give you a surgery, lap band surgery," and basically that'll make you eat less, and then that'll make you lose weight. Because you eat less, you'll lose weight, and we had to put a piece on your intestine basically to deal with that. It doesn't make sense. None of it makes sense.
Yeah, I agree with that. That's fucking stupid. But I want to like share a personal experience and opinion of mine as someone who went to psychiatry, or a psychiatrist rather, and also took therapy. And I also had my meds prescribed to me and shit for anxiety, mood regulators, fucking antidepressants, sleeping pills, suppository. No, that was when I was a kid. But I had a bunch of shit prescribed to me, and I took it, and it literally did nothing for me. Like when I took that shit, it felt like something when I first took it, but by the second, third, fourth time I would take it, it felt like nothing. And my therapist and shit, like I'd be like, "Yo, dude, this shit feels like it's not doing anything to me. So what the fuck's the deal with that shit?" And he would amp the fucking like the dosage or
up.
whatever.
Yeah.
And nothing. Like literally nothing. I mean, I mixed like almost 100 fucking pills of different kinds with 3 liters of red wine, and it didn't fucking kill me. So I guess that's saying something. But I feel like the therapy was the most helpful thing. Because it like you talk to someone, you vent, you talk about your issues, your problems, and whatnot, and it helps you a little bit, because obviously everyone has fucking issues and shit, and sometimes you just don't want to hear other people's problems, or some people just can't fucking listen. Some people just can't, like, fucking like, yeah, talk to me about your problems for a little bit. Cool. Now I talk to you about mine. Or if they aren't comfortable with it, then we move on, or some shit like that. But I do believe that therapy is way better. From my personal experience, therapy is way better than the medicine. And like you said, exercise, like get some sun, touch some grass, get some fucking hobbies that are productive, not just video games. And I'm telling this as a video gamer, not just video games, because just doing video games, it's gonna put you in a fucking mindset that you don't want to be. Because like, especially video games are toxic as fuck nowadays. It's just gonna fucking worsen your anxiety. It's just gonna make you toxic yourself. It's gonna make you depressed, and it's cool to play video games, to kill some time and stuff. Maybe dedicate yourself to it if you want to, but not too much. Like, cause I'm pretty sure you've noticed when I play Overwatch on stream, my fucking mood goes from like, yeah, I'm cool, to like fucking Hulk from like a 1 second to another. So, but I also do other shit. I play guitar every now and again. I fucking, I like I've been trying to start video editing and stuff, trying to get into it. I do the podcast. I do a lot of shit. Right? So it helps out having a little bit more purpose than just sitting around and just playing video games and just like, that kind of stuff. So yeah. Therapy, less meds. But that's the thing, like, isn't therapy super expensive over there?
Well, I mean, like I said, the reason it's expensive is because you're paying out of pocket. Like if the insurance covered it, then it would be a little bit different. But insurance doesn't want to cover it because it's like you don't need therapy, do you?
Oh, dude, I fucking hate that shit.
Unless literally your doctor says, "Hey, this guy actually needs therapy, or he's gonna kill himself or something like that." That would be the only time that they would then say, "Okay, whoa, whoa, whoa," or like you've had a traumatic event, then they might say, "Oh, well, you need to, you just watched your parents, die or something like that. We need to put you in therapy." Something like that. There has to be something very dramatic for them to care enough to put it in to your to be able to pay for it for you. Like otherwise, you're gonna pay it out of pocket, and it's expensive to pay out of pocket.
So the government just doesn't give a shit.
No, they don't. They don't care. They're just like whatever. Like it's.
So they give a shit about like drag queens or whatever the fuck that twink is. That got hired, but they don't give a fuck about providing people with therapy to live a better, happier, healthier life. That's cool. That's neat.
Yeah, and that's a problem with what they're trying to do is they're focusing on the wrong issues. They're like, oh, like it's all about we need to include more people. We need to do this, do that. Well, people have real problems right now. If you could fix them, or you could just sit there and do this like whining mess and that you're doing that doesn't produce anything like you. But that's what they would rather do. They would rather just sit there and say like we helped get more marginalized communities involved, or we got that kind of stuff.
Yeah, fuck your government. Fuck my government. Fuck government in general.
Yeah, I don't know of any government solution that's really just impacted my life in a good way. I mean, like our government, like my state government, in the past year, they added, or like a year and a half ago, they added a gasoline tax, and so now we have to pay more for gas on top of what we're already paying more for gas. And they basically said like, oh yeah, this is going to pay for new roads, guys, new roads. And yeah, we got some new roads, but like I'm paying a lot more for my gas now. Like not just because of Biden, but because of them too, because they're wanting a gas tax. It's just they're not focusing on like, hey, well, how can we make it better for everybody? Like, what could we do to actually help people, like help the citizens?
Yeah.
And I think like Normok's right. Yeah, the government doesn't really care about healthy, happy people. They just want people who will do what they say. I think that's pretty much it. Because if they cared enough, they would say like, okay, well, I don't want all these big mega pharmaceutical corporations basically to tell everybody like, hey, now you need to prescribe Ritalin and Adderall to everybody, and then you need to put them on hormone treatments or whatever, and then you need to add all this stuff to them. Just a bunch of smorgasbord of nonsense. Like they need anxiety meds and this med and that med to try to keep them from like ending themselves, basically, because that seems to be all they just need you alive. That's all they need. They don't care if you're having a good life. They do need you alive though, just so that you can pay taxes.
Just don't pay taxes, forehead. Ha, lol.
Do you think I want government drones at my door? No. No, I don't need
Yoink,
to. I
yoink
don't
the
have
drones. Fucking yoink the drones and sell them, dude. Get the parts.
And then all of a sudden
What's
I have government tanks in front of my yard.
dude? Do the same thing. Yoink the fucking tanks and sell the parts. Boom. What's up,
I mean,
anarchist?
that would be profitable.
I'm pretty sure it would. Or yoink the tanks and use them on them. Use the tanks on them. But
Version of course.
I guess that's it about that topic. Do you have anything else? I'm blank today. I'm completely blank today. I don't have wine. Do you guys have like a fucking? So we have it was the like Friday today, like a fucking like holiday or some shit.
Yeah, it's Good Friday, which is
Oh,
like
we call it Good Friday. We fucking call it Holy Friday.
Yeah, I guess different translation or whatever. But yeah, we call it Good Friday.
It's not different translation. It's the rough translation, raw translation. It's like Holy Friday. Which is surprising you don't call it Holy Friday because America's also fucking stupidly religious.
I don't think it's as religious now as it used to be. Like
That's
it's
good.
really not.
That's pretty good.
A lot of there's Easter coming up, which is why it's Good Friday, and then Easter is on Sunday. So
Yeah.
which Easter is basically just a commercial event, is just like Christmas now. I mean, it's not
What
as
isn't,
commercial
dude?
because,
What isn't?
but I mean, like, well, I mean, you don't see like Ramadan, like you don't see like like Muslim Ramadan like being like a commercial event.
Right. Well, I asked that because basically I went out during the afternoon to buy some smokes and buy some fucking some wine, and it was closed. The fucking place was closed, and I was like, man, fuck my life. So yeah, fucking being sober, dude, sucks. Why can't there be some like a fucking medicine that like makes you drunk without drinking? That'd be super sick.
That reminds
That would
me
be.
of like there was
And
an episode of
here comes Ron telling you about some drug that does that shit because he's a fucking crackhead.
there was this episode on the Flash TV show, and there was like basically he had to make some kind of like chemical thing to because he couldn't get drunk because he basically was like too fast to be drunk, something like that. Like his body was too process things too fast, so he could never get drunk. So they did this whole chemical thing.
Oh, dude, that fucking sucks.
So that'd be crazy. Yeah, basically he couldn't get drunk. Like he always complained, and they gave him this like special serum, and then all of a sudden he was like wasted.
Where's that? Asking for a friend?
Oh my god.
I mean, maybe okay, so maybe it's just kind of like alcohol bullshit as well, but it's just introduced a different way. Maybe it's shoved up his ass. I heard a lot of people do that apparently to get drunk. Shoving fucking alcohol up your ass gets you drunk faster or some shit.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Fucking down the eyes and whatever. Like, okay, dude, I'm sorry, I don't like shoving things up my ass, you know?
I mean, I don't know any straight man who does. So
You'd be surprised. I think you'd be surprised. Have you never seen like fucking I've literally watched porn videos where like it's a couple and then the fucking like the dude gets pegged and like the chick does a fucking rim job to the dude and I'm like, dude, what? I mean,
oh my god.
maybe there's like some fucking hidden shit there that they're not like necessarily revealing or talking about, but I don't know, man. I don't know. Technically, they're kind of straight, you know. I don't know. Is getting fucked by a chick gay?
Now we're getting the real philosophical questions. I guess it technically, I would say technically yes.
Ron, how does that feel? Explain. I'm just kidding. I'm pretty sure Breeze would be the person with the pants in the household. But yeah, like I don't know. I wonder.
It would
So-
be interesting, like psychological experiment to like wonder, like, okay, what makes these people like, you're like how, depending on their preference, like their kink or something like that. Like, what makes them be, have their preferences, in the way that they do. It'd be an interesting study.
You know what? I was watching a video earlier on the YouTube channel about like murderers and stuff like that, and they were covering a dude, like a Ukrainian dude, like went to the fucking. He was abused as fuck when he was a kid, and then he couldn't, like, he was impotent and stuff when he got to adulthood. And the only way this dude would get like sexually aroused was by fucking like abusing and like murdering.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
that's wild.
It happens more often than you think, by the way. Happens way more often than you think.
Well,
Like-
I mean, I'm sure, because that would explain a lot of like like domestic violence.
Nah, not necessarily. I mean, in a way, but these cases, they're rare cases for sure. Thank goodness.
Mhm.
But at the same time, it's also like, it's one of those things where you think it's literally unthinkable, something that is unthinkable of, but it does happen. It does happen. There's also a dude. I forgot where he lived. I know it was in America, but I forgot which town. He would lure in male prostitutes because he was gay. He would lure in male prostitutes and dudes who wanted drugs and stuff. He would sedate them, shove them in the bed, tie it up, and then he just like abused them and torture them until they died.
My god.
Yeah, I think his name was like Bob some shit. Bob Ross. No, I'm just kidding.
Makes sense.
I watched the video not too long ago. As a matter of fact, speaking of Bob Ross, like he used to be fucking a lunatic. I remember like seeing something about this where he was like literally a lunatic. Like that's why he turned a new leaf and started going for like super peaceful stuff. Because he was like a sergeant or something in the military.
Like, didn't he have to take a lot of drugs to get to that point though? Like he got
I
on like,
don't-
a lot of.
Honestly, don't know. I didn't hear anything about that. I just heard that he was like a sergeant or a colonel or some shit in the lieutenant, whatever the fuck, in the military, and that shit like messed him up. What was this guy's name? Let me see here. Oh, Robert Berdelis. Fucking Robert Berdelis. It's like pictures and shit. All these motherfuckers have pictures. You know, I pride myself on like being like having one of the fucking strongest stomachs in the world. And I want to see the fucking Armin Maivis tapes. I watched movies that are based upon it, but the movies are just like not doing it. So, but it's probably never going to come out. So this guy was from Kansas. Kansas City.
Yeah, I mean,
Missouri.
I think that there's a lot of those kind of people though that they're like we were talking about, like they needed help but they didn't get it. Like they missed out on getting the help that they needed.
Some people just it doesn't matter how like they just can't be helped, dude. That's just how it is. You know what I mean? They're just like,
well, I mean, they won't help them. They would never help themselves anyway. I mean, there's some people who just they give up.
Yeah. All right. So what else is going on besides these nuts?
So you could find this interesting story. There was, if you want to talk about the trans issue again, there was
The
a
what?
all women's the trans issue. There was an
Oh.
all women's prison where two women were apparently they say they fell pregnant. I mean they got pregnant because they had sex with a transgender inmate.
So like biological males?
Yeah.
I'm not surprised. Like, is that surprising?
Well, they put the trans person in there with the all women prison, and then two of them, got knocked up.
Yeah, that's fucking retarded, motherfuckers. I mean,
Well, there's this thing that's been happening now where some of the some men who are just trying to like claim like, oh, I'm trans, all of a sudden, and then that they're getting sent to
dude,
women's
look,
prisons.
that's been happening for years with the gays, man. A lot of dudes pretend to be gay and just like get under chicks' pants and stuff. You know what I mean? So I am not surprised. You know, they pretend to be gay. They pretend to be like, oh my God, oh yeah, queen, I love it and shit. And they're like, do you want to try? I've never tried. I'm so curious to have sex with a woman. You know, and it's like, well, there you go. And then they fucking put their deep voices on. Hey, yo, bitch, I just wanted to fuck you. Yeah. And they leave. Yeah, I'm not surprised about that, to be honest. I'm not surprised. I'll say though, I watched that's how ironic. I knew you were the one wearing the pants. But I watched the Steven Crowder change my mind thing where he went to like a college and shit. And it had like a bunch of kids. I only watched like a little bit, like 20 minutes or something. Mm-hmm. But it's like, dude, kids' minds are just so fucking like twisted. It's crazy. They're just been so brainwashed by the fucking shit that they watch on the internet.
Well, I don't think it's just stuff that they watch on the internet. It's like our government schools suck so bad.
Stop defending the internet so much, dude. Understand that the internet is a massive part of the problem, dude. Because nowadays, the internet is the main platform for content consumption and media sharing platforms and stuff. So like, you gotta get out of the mentality that like the internet is a fucking God-given thing, because it's a big part of the problem. Now, it is also part of solutions and shit that happen, but it's also a big part of the problem. I love the internet. Okay, I love the internet. It allows me to like talk to you right now and do a show with you literally across the fucking world and shit, while other people across the world are listening to us. But it's also like, you know, it is part of the problem. But there was one of these kids, like the first kid, he has some stupid ideas, but then he did say like there should be a third division of sports for like trans people, which I agree. Make a new division, and even Steven Crowder agreed as well. Like, make a new fucking division. You know, like let males compete with males, let females compete with females, and then let the trans people compete with the trans people. You know what I mean? I'm down with that shit.
That would make sense, but you know, that would take them not making it so political to just look at it and like, okay, well, we have to have a third classification, right? Because there's going to be people who aren't one or the other, I guess. Like, you know, they want to be different. So
fuck that,
we
dude.
need to classify them.
No, they actually said like, you know, start like a multitude of divisions, like 4, 5, 6, 7. Like, can you imagine fucking furries competing with furries, fucking wearing fursuits? You know, a whole fucking pavilion full of furries, and you just drop a nuke in there. That would be fucking heaven. Whoever would be able to witness that, I'd be so jealous of it. A whole fucking pavilion full of competing furries, and you just nuke that shit. Like, even better, you lock the doors and you set it on fire.
Oh no! Oh my god, dude! Oh man.
Yeah, but like, it's just it's sad to see like how
apparently
they've been
they
so
have
fucked.
Conventions. I've never seen this in real life, of course, but you know, but they apparently people talk about how they have conventions.
Yeah, you know what's funny? All the fucking furries sound the same. Like, they literally all sound the same. They all have like a fucking lisp or some shit, like a furry lisp. I don't know what it is. Could it possibly be mental illnesses? I don't know, but
probably.
They all sound the same, you know? Like, almost as if being furry is like a coping mechanism for something. Like, you're, you know, like really lacking of something like parents or attention or something like that, and you find this easy way of putting a fursuit on and pretending to be something else. I don't know, man. Just like throwing shit out there. I don't know. I'm retarded.
So it has to be that they're just their parents don't care, because they clearly have a lot of money. Because if you know like people who like talk about this kind of stuff or whatever, they've mentioned how like some of the conventions, like these people are spending like thousands of dollars on a suit to go in or whatever, like the costume, and they go they it's like, you know, like $5,000 for a costume. Like, oh my god, how do they have this much money? Like, apparently they're rich.
Money doesn't equate intelligence, to be honest. I mean, some of the smartest people in the world are completely fucking
it's mommy and daddy's
poor.
money. It's clearly mom and daddy's money.
I mean, it doesn't have to be. Some of them are like massive nerds who have never touched grass, who have, like you said, like basement dwellers who just spend their whole fucking time like fixated on books and internet and computers and video games and shit like that. You know, like, I watched a documentary, like this dude called The Gamer from Mars on YouTube. He made a documentary about Chris Chan. And you know what? I actually watched the whole fucking thing because I was so invested in the thing. And when I first heard about like what made the whole situation go completely viral, I was like disgusted and shit. But like when I watched the documentary, I was like, man, yeah, this dude went through fucking everything. Like it's an autistic dude who's getting constantly fucking trolled by literally everything. Like he's getting trolled from like for dudes who are pretending to be chicks interested in him. He's getting fucking trolled by dudes pretending to be the CEOs of the video game companies he fucking enjoys the most. He's getting trolled about like the fucking health services or whatever the fuck. Like if you're autistic, you're already like you're not very like you might be functioning,
Socially.
but yeah, you're gonna have some fucking issues to your way things go on. Your understanding of like your surroundings and shit might probably be a little bit lacking. And then you go through all this fucking trolling and shit through the internet, especially when he was like so adamant on getting laid by any means possible. It like,
Yeah.
man, I like,
I mean,
I don't
you
condone
feel
anything he did, to be honest.
like,
But at the same time, I understand that this dude was pushed to the fucking limit. People called him gay so much he literally became a chick, quote unquote.
yeah, and I mean, like it was something where like he was dealing with something or whatever, and then he just wanted to like he wanted to show like how interested he was in like like the Sonic thing or whatever. He was doing the whole Sonic shoot thing or whatever. And then all of a sudden, these people were like contacting him and like acting like they're like super fans or pretending to be his fans. Like, oh man, you're the best writer ever. They're faking, they're lying to him, and then they troll him and they like steal money from him, and they do all these kind of things. Like they're just constantly lying and cheating and manipulating this guy. Much as what he did was wrong, you kind of see why he ended up the where he ended up.
Yeah, motherfucker was pushed to the limit. Like he pushed a motherfucker to the limit, and shit's gonna happen. So like, again, like I don't condone any of it. What happened to like with him and shit, but at the same time, I can't really be like incredibly anti-path or antipathetic or whatever the fuck it's called towards the situation, because I mean it's just a dude who's got like massive fucking issues already and it's being trolled. I mean, you can tell a person has issues when like you get trolled once. It happens, everyone goes through it. You get trolled twice, yeah, probably happens to everyone as well. You get trolled 3, 4, fucking 70 fucking times, there's something wrong with you.
Yeah,
But
and I mean that's like where like a lot of the like social media influencers or like the like YouTuber popular YouTubers, things like that. I think that a lot of them to end up with this kind of thing, like or like Twitch streamers, like big famous Twitch streamers. Why do they go like bonkers? I mean, you look at like the etiquette thing. Like if he wasn't pushed to his limit, like would he still be around? I don't know. Like these are just things that sometimes like, and then I think this is what you're talking about with the internet, like a lot of like the really nasty part of the internet that just kind of ruins everything. Uh, but I think generally speaking, it's like one of those. It's a double edged sword. Essentially, like
yeah, for
you can either
sure.
be use it for really cool things. It's kind of like how the way people show stories about 4chan. 4chan is the epitome of the internet. Either they can do something really cool and they can like help some, throw a birthday party for some old man who doesn't have anybody to have a birthday party with him, or which is really cool, or they can do something as nasty and mean as like it's going around doxing people and doing all these things. uh they're the literally the chaotic neutral of everything on the internet.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I never used 4chan, but I've heard a lot of stories about it. So I found this shit on Morning Brew right now, and apparently it's like from 3 hours ago. And it says Twitter enacted a poison pill plan yesterday to thwart Elon Musk's hostile takeover bid. The goal of the shareholder rights plan, as it's formally called, is to make it Gatsby level extravagant for Musk to purchase Twitter. When securities expert told the NYT, that's this New York Times, that it would be financially ruinous even for him. And then for the morons like me who don't know what a poison pill is, it says that named after the pills that spies would take when they were captured, the strategy works like, oh, okay, so it's like cyanide pills and shit like that. So they basically are trying to kill the platform so that if he wants to take over, they get the money from the shares and he just gets fucked because they're trying to kill the thing itself. Okay.
Well, what it really is like the current value of the shares, like they're gonna say like, hey, guess what? Twitter is a discount. Like Twitter is at a huge discount. Everybody can buy. We're gonna make more shares if we have to. And they basically go into this thing like we're gonna either make more shares or we're gonna just naturally just uh, force the price like down some way in order to like make sure that if you want to buy it, it's at a deep discount. So like it was like $40 something, 40 something dollars, which isn't quite up to what Musk offered, which is like 54.20. But they would basically say like, hey, guess what, guys, you can buy Twitter stock for $20, and that would basically be why like everybody would buy in, and then basically Elon wouldn't be able to get enough shares to buy it out.
Right. Well, it's basically the opposite of what they do with the fucking NFTs and shit. With like the artificial inflation. They're artificially trying to deflate it, I guess.
Yeah, they would be trying to basically deflate the price. I mean, they would be inflating the shares, which makes the price go down.
Yeah. Well,
but it's gonna ruin it, like if they do this, it can ruin the company, because there are a lot of companies who fail after they do this kind of thing. Which I mean, I kind of don't care if Twitter dies.
yeah, Twitter get fucked. Oh man, what will I ever do with my life? Oh my god.
The only thing that I'll hate is that I can't get news as quickly. I'll have to wait for like Fox to report on it or something.
You check your news through Twitter?
Yeah, that's how I get the most up to date news.
Why though?
Well, because there's a lot of good people and places to follow on Twitter that give a lot of good information. I mean, there are even other news outlets on there like Daily Wire, which isn't necessarily like Fox, stuff like that.
Isn't that like fucking Matt Walsh's thing where he is?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're at Daily Wire.
Okay. Well, I checked Morning Brew basically. This is like my thing for news. So
Yeah, I like to look around and just see what people are tweeting about, and honestly, I could, since I have some programming skill, I could do this a way of scraping Twitter to kind of figure out like what trending topics and stuff like that. But knowing how Twitter is, a lot of their algorithms and stuff is really they force stuff to trend and stuff like that. So it would be counterproductive. A lot of times I just scroll my feed and I'm able to find some sort of interesting things that pop up when people are talking about on Twitter.
my fucking training right now on Twitter is just like shit I don't give a fuck about. Phasmophobia, don't care. Plan B, don't know what the fuck that is. Final Fantasy 14, don't give a shit. Collab, I don't fucking know. That means like shut up or quiet in Portuguese. I don't know what the fuck that means or what it is. Yuri, I don't fucking know what that is. It's trending in Portugal. I don't fucking know. It's probably like a football player or something like that. Rihanna's trending in Portugal for some stupid reason. I don't fucking know why. Jesus is trending in Oh, it's probably like the football coach. Pokemon is trending in Portugal. And fucking Mark Zuckerberg is trending in technology, which I also don't give a fuck about fucking Mark Zuckerberg. He can suck a dick.
I see what you did there.
Yeah. Yeah, besides that, it's just like absolute dog shit. It's just fucking. This platform is just like every single time I go through a tweet or something. Like, for example, when Overwatch, when I was like when Overwatch released their shit and stuff, and when like, oh yeah, okay, cool. There's something from Overwatch. There's always motherfuckers there that I want to slap and punch the living shit out of. Because it's like so fucking stupid. Like, I can't help but feel like they're fucking young and shit. You know what I mean? Like, they shouldn't even be on the fucking internet with like literally all kinds of ages. Because the way they type and the way they talk and stuff like that just literally gives it like a very young vibe, if you will. But like, for example, they posted their video of like the developer update, and then I'm gonna go through here, and here you go. Someone saying, you had a big chance yesterday in the live stream to really tell us stuff, show us the creative process, early sketches, and gameplay. Why do a live stream at all with 4 people talking about literally nothing, and today put out a video? Don't you respect us? We know you can do better. And like what they did yesterday with a live stream was like a short live stream talking about like essentially they got 2 black women on the show with them to talk about like the character and like the representation and how the representation is important in the video games and stuff. And motherfuckers are bothered by this. Like, dude, why the fuck are you bothered by this? Do you have nothing better to do with your fucking life? Like, I'm bothered by the fact that these motherfuckers are bothered.
Yeah, I mean, well, I think what it is like there's a certain expectation you have, like like if you've been invested into playing a game for a while and you really want to see it succeed and you really want to like see kind of like you're a huge fan of Overwatch. If they decided to like just tell you like, nah, screw it, we're just gonna shut the servers down tomorrow. I mean, you'd be kind of pissed, right? Like you'd be kind of mad. Like
I just fucking
if they
move on.
screwed.
I'd be like, probably be happy that I fucking wouldn't be having my drug anymore. And I could move on.
I think you're the
I probably would
outlier in that case.
relapse. I probably would relapse a little bit, but yeah, just be happy after a while. Like, oh, finally, I'm away from my drug. That's not like my point. Is like the motherfuckers are bothered by the stupidest fucking shit, like genders and fucking like this. Like, what is a fucking problem having a black female character in fucking Overwatch? Like, or what's the problem with having a fucking live stream talking about it? They're literally trying to bring as much content out as possible because there's been 2 years of none. So like,
well, so the problem
the main problem in my opinion is the fact that like they want what they want, and if they don't get what they want, they're fucking pissed. So because they got like, you can basically shove like a whole table full of things that one person's gonna like this, one person's gonna like that, another person's gonna like that, but there's these motherfuckers on Twitter, they must like everything. Like,
well, I mean, you can't please them. I mean, these are the people who you can't please. Period. Like that's just plain and simple. You can't please these kind of people, and that's the problem. I think is like those are the people who it's an issue with like, hey, these are people you're never gonna please, so just don't care about them. Like don't give them the time of day. But the problem with what you were saying, some complaints are legitimate, You know, if they start skimping on quality for like the game, just to push in some kind of agenda, or they try to push in certain things, then a lot of people do get aggravated with that, you know. Like it, but it shouldn't be to the point where it consumes their life, you know. Like go say, well, I'm not playing Overwatch for a while until they fix this, or find something else to do. I mean, there's plenty of other things that people can do. It's just a lot of people get fixated on something.
I had to fucking give Normark a little piss in my mind. Fucking cunt. um, but my like, dude, my fucking point's like, get a life, man. You know, like, I just miss the days when, like, we wouldn't be fucking bothered by this shit. Like, it has to be that people have nothing better to do. Or either that, or like the comfortability of just complaining about anything and everything. You know, like, I'm complaining about the complainer, so this creates a fucking vicious cycle. You know?
Yeah.
See, like, still zero updates on PV story mode from 2019. It's alarming. Like, they've literally said that the only thing they're going to be talking about is the PvP shit. You know what I mean? And then throughout the year, they're going to be putting out more stuff. Like, I hate to sound like this because it feels like I'm simping for Overwatch and simping for Blizzard, which is not the case. What I'm doing is like pissed off at these motherfuckers for not using like half of their brain or even a quarter. You know, it's like, give me what I want. I want and I want and I was like, dude, shut your privileged, stupid, ugly fucking ass, dude. And go fucking touch grass and get a fucking hobby to get yourself busy with something productive, because video games is a hobby. But whatever, dude. Whatever, dude. Yes, I'm sensitive, dude. What about it? What about being sensitive? What's the problem with being sensitive, huh? You toxic male. You fucking prick. Bigot. Yeah, well, I mean, we're almost done, though.
He assumed your gender, though. He said man. So,
yeah, I'm pretty sure he identifies as male. Pretty sure he identifies as male. Dude, get a grip. I will get a grip of my dick after I'm done with the show. I'm gonna watch some fucking Reddit hoes.
I bet you get the twerk videos going on.
The what? Twerk videos?
Yeah.
Nah. Is that like what, a subreddit or some shit? Maybe. Oh, dude.
I don't know.
Fucking Kim Kardashian's son saw her fucking sex tape on Roblox. She's like fucking calling Kanye West and shit all hot and bothered. Like, dude, it was not supposed to happen like this, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, dude. Okay.
I mean, isn't that what she signed up for when she published it on the internet?
I believe the only reason she's fucking like famous, it's because of that fucking sex tape, to be honest.
Oh, I mean,
she has no fucking personality. You know what I mean? So, yeah. And you're jealous, fucking Normok. And you're fucking jealous about it. You wish you fucking had some porn in your life. Because all you got is magazines, you fucking boomer. Yeah, but like, it was funny as fuck to read that. That just fucking the sex tape is in Roblox. And fucking Roblox, a fucking game for kids, dude. Literally the game for kids.
Well, like Roblox though, there's a lot of predatory stuff on there. Like there's a lot of people being like caught that are trying to like talk to kids and stuff.
Oh yeah, they're being caught, but this is like not something. I don't really know how it happened.
Well,
I don't
like
even know
adults,
how the fuck Roblox functions, dude. I've never used that shit.
I mean, I haven't used it either, but like just like from the videos that I've seen of it, is essentially like a sandbox, like where they can make their own, like it's almost like Minecraft, but like if you could make your own games from Minecraft.
Yeah,
like
I know what it is. I've seen videos, but I never played it. I don't know how like the social hubs are. I don't know how any of that shit is. I just watched like Muda Hart play fucking Squid Game on that shit, like the fucking thing. I think everyone was playing that anyways. I think the game looks like shit, to be honest. It looks like fucking dog shit. Like absolute garbage. But we're about done here, almost. We got like 2 minutes. 1 minute and a half, kind of. Yeah, not 2 minutes. So we're not going to do the thing today. Because then Ron gets pissed off and shit. I mean, last time I didn't fucking end the stream. I kept the stream going. But he pushed the stream off because he's an idiot. But yeah, we got 1 minute now. So basically, what's going on? What did I come out of my mouth? Yeah, so you can find me anywhere on fucking social media and all that stupid shit. At EldritchsPIG. And Trey, go ahead. Get about 30 seconds.
Yeah, follow me on Twitch and Vim, Trey50Daniel, and then also follow my Twitter, just because I post random stuff. If you want to follow about like economics and stuff.
Yeah. Thank you very much for listening to the Amazing Thoughts podcast this week, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Bye-bye. These nuts. Fuck you, Normok. Got him.
Oh, jeez.